Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. While the Tigers continue to strive to find some consistent offense, there has been one constant, and that's the bat of Miguel Cabrera. He's been on base in 22 consecutive games. Miggy back in the lineup here this afternoon as we bring you Game 3 in this series featuring the Tigers and the Oakland Athletics. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pema alongside Rod Allen. Glad to have you with us here for the series finale. Tigers, well, they're trying to get one before they head out to Chicago, Rod. And that Miguel Cabrera, he's been awfully good, but he's going to need some help.
He really is going to need some help. The guys at the top of the batting order, Iglesias and Ghost, are going to have to get on base. If Miguel is going to get anything good to hit, Bob Melvin, it's well documented that Miguel has done a lot of damage against the Athletics in his career, and he will not pitch to Miggy if there's runners in scoring position.
All right, what do you got on Jesse Hahn? The last time we saw him, he was awfully good back in Oakland against the Tigers. 4-hit shutout. They got to figure him out today.
He threw a lot of fastballs at the Tigers batters, and they weren't quite ready for those fastballs. He was 23 of 24 in first pitch strikes in that particular game. He threw 3 ground ball double play balls, They need to make him get the ball up in the strike zone, and they need to pick on some of those fastballs that he's featuring. He's going to throw a lot of fastballs.
All right, after a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam Studios, check in with Trevor Thompson. But coming up in this one here today, well, Shane Green is on the hill for the Tigers. He has felt right at home in Comerica, 3-1 in his home ballpark. Tigers A's coming up next. Baseball here this afternoon. Tigers and the Oakland Athletics, and the field conditions today are presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. In the meantime, we'll go to the lineup first. Billy Burns will lead it off, followed by Ben Zobrist and Stephen Vogt. Billy Butler is the DH. Good numbers at Comerica. Reddick, Laurie, Sogard, Fegley, and Full. The lineup today is presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Now, the field conditions as promised, and they're worth waiting for. 73 degrees at game time today. A little bit of a breeze, a little bit of humidity, not much, but mostly sunny. Some clouds in the sky, and we have perfect weather for baseball here this afternoon. As Billy Burns stands in. Burns, the center fielder, having himself a good series. Had a big hit in the ball game last night as the Athletics have won the first two in this series. Shane Green brings it home and is promptly bounced to second base, where Kinsler throws him out. One pitch and one gone. Shane Green is presented today by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
A little better start here this afternoon than Green had 5 days ago when he gave up 5 home runs to the Los Angeles Angels. He needs to keep his fastball down. He also needs to mix in a few more changeups and a few more breaking balls to quite a few of these left-hand batters that Bob Melvin has ran out there for his team today.
Here's Ben Zobrist. He stands in and takes a strike. Zobrist at 234 has knocked in 4 in the series. He has a grand slam. Now the 0-1. The unmistakable strike call of Jim Joyce behind the plate. 0-2. Zobrist has spent some time on the DL this year with a meniscus problem. Back in their lineup these days. Stands deep in the box and takes ball 1 low. 1-2.
Zobrist can play all over the place. He can play up the middle in the infield. He can play all 3 of the outfield positions.
They've got him played to pull defensively on the infield. The shift is being employed, and he pops it up mile high down the first base line. Cabrera waiting, and it finally nestles into his glove.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense. It is presented by Bill Fox Chevrolet. Cespedes, Ghost, Collins in the outfield. Iglesias, Kinsler up the middle in the infield. Castellanos and Miggy on the corners. And B. Holiday, he is a catcher.
Tyler Collins getting the start out in right field as Martinez is the DH today. Tyler's mostly been the designated hitter since coming up. So here is Stephen Vogt. They keep the same defense on against him. Played to pull. And Vogt looks at a strike. 0-1.
Tigers pitching has been able to keep Vogt awfully quiet in this series, but his teammates have picked up the slack.
Vogt is 0 for 7. He has a couple of walks. That's it. He'll shoot one right over the head of Castellanos and dumps it into right field. So they had him played nicely, but he just got that thing over Castellanos' head. 2-out base runner now for Billy Butler. Butler at 259 has 2 hits in the series, 2 for 9. He sits safely in 5 consecutive ball games.
Shane Green and gives up a batting average of sub 200 to right-handed batters, but you can see the left-handers are hitting 328 against Green coming into this contest.
Shane, of course, trying to shake off the effects of the last start they had against the Angels. One that didn't last very long. Inning and 2/3. Now the 0-1, grounded foul.
A lot of crooked numbers for Shane in that game.
He allowed the 5 home runs and is the first pitcher since 1900 to give up that many home runs in an outing that lasted less than 2 innings. So historic in many ways. He's ahead of Butler. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Philly goes down, and so do the A's. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Here come the Tigers in the bottom of the first. the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. It'll be Ghosts, Iglesias, and Cabrera at the top. Cespedes is in left field batting cleanup. Ian Kinsler, he's desperately trying to get it going. He's at second base. JD, the DH. Collins, Castellanos, and Holiday rounding it out for the Tigers. They're facing right-hander Jesse Hahn.
Jesse Hahn has won 2 games this year. One of those against the Tigers 2 starts ago. It was a complete game shutout. He checks in 2-5 overall with a 3.77 ERA. Fastball will get up into the mid-90s. He has a slider, a curve, and occasional changeup.
Anthony Gose 0 for 9 in the series. There aren't really too many Tigers that have done anything offensively in this series, and Gose now has gone 0 for his last 16. So his little mini slump has stretched a bit, and he'll look at a ball high and away. 2-0 the count. Bit of a breeze here at the ballpark today, otherwise sunny, temperature in the 70s as the Tigers wrap up this mini homestand. High fly ball, left center field. Calling for it is Sam Fuld. 1 out.
Let's take a look at the Oakland Athletics starting defense. It is brought to you by Tim Hortons. Fuld, Burns, and Reddick in the outfield. Third to first in the infield reads Laurie, Sogard, Zobrist, Stephen Vogt. Josh Begley, he's the catcher. Last night was the 10th multi-air game this season for the Athletics, who have committed 54 as a team this year.
Here is Jose Iglesias. Had a base hit in the last inning of last night's game. Tigers scored their only run in the 9th inning last night. And Iglesias now is hit safely in 7 of his last 8. Hahn brings home the 0-1. Jesse Hahn, 25 years old. He is a native of Norwich, Connecticut. 6'5", 190. Out of the San Diego Padres system. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Iglesias.
That's what he did against the Tigers 2 starts ago. Real good sink with a 92-mile-per-hour fastball. And the Tigers, they hit into 3 double plays and grounded out 15 times against Jesse Hahn 10 days ago. Hahn in his last start against the Yankees, as we get a look at his complete game shutout numbers against the Tigers, he lost to the Yankees, who have more left-handed bats in their lineup than Detroit does. He gave up 7 hits in that game, 5 of those to left-handed batters. And 1 was a home run to Carlos Beltran. So he's catching the Tigers at the right time. Minus Victor Martinez, minus Alex Avila. He's not as good against left-handed batters.
Pretty good news on both of those guys, though. Before the game, it appears that Avila will go to Chicago with the team and take batting practice, and likewise Martinez down at Lakeland taking BP.
That is good news.
So at least Victor has gotten to the point now where they've calmed the knee down so much so that he can do baseball activities and actually hit.
It will allow the Tigers to balance out their lineup a little bit, and adding a couple more left-handed bats to go up against guys like Hahn, who struggle against left-handed hitters.
Here's Avila, who will join the team or be with the team in Chicago to take BP. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jose Iglesias. Popped him up. Hahn is calling for it. They're going to let him take it. So the pitcher makes the play. 2 gone. We'll bring up Miguel Cabrera. Tigers got their only run last night in the 9th inning when Cabrera slammed a double to knock home Iglesias. It was his 2nd hit of the night. 35 driven in now for Miguel. Hahn missing outside. 1-0. Right-handed batters this year hitting just a .173 against Jesse Hahn. Pulled on the ground to short on the backhand play there. Sogard gets up and throws him out. 1-2-3 inning for Hahn. 1 in the books. Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. When it's time, come to Comerica. By Ram, come discover great deals during the Ram Drive and Discover event. And by Johnsonville, sausage is all we do. Back here at Comerica Park in a scoreless game, on our way to the top of the second as we close out this 3-game series. Shane Green back to the hill facing Josh Reddick. He'll start things off, then Brett Lawrie and Eric Sogard for Oakland. Green is falling behind, 2-0 on Reddick. Batting average up to .301 for the left-handed batter who plays against this Tiger shift. Now the 2-0. That's in there. 2-1 on Josh Reddick.
Good two-seam fastball there thrown by Green. 5 days ago he was throwing too many four-seam fastballs, didn't have that late life, but today real nice two-seamer thrown by Shane.
Pulled to the gap in right center field. It'll get down, base hit. Ghost goes over to cut it off on the backhand. And the leadoff single for Reddick.
When you fall behind dangerous fastball hitters like Reddick, you can't throw him four-seam fastballs right down the middle. This is where he makes his money. This fastball leaks right back over the heart of the plate, and a real good swing put on it by Josh Reddick, and he singles sharply into right field.
So Reddick, who homered in the ball game last night, has hit quickly in this one today. It'll be the second hit of the game for the A's.
Brian Holiday putting down the signs today for Green. And Brian hasn't played that much lately, and the bulk of the work has gone to the rookie James McCann.
Brett Lawrie takes inside. He's had a really good series. 4 for 7 for Lawrie. Couple of doubles. Former Blue Jay came over in the Josh Donaldson deal along with Graveman, who we saw earlier in this series in game 1. Kendall Graveman. Green will throw back, and back in there standing up easily is Reddick. Tigers just 2 over the 500 mark entering play today at 28-26. These have been playing some good baseball lately. Lifted back out of play, 1-1. So this is what it looks like in the Central Division. Actually, those are incorrect numbers. We'll get them sorted out for you.
I think the boys wish they were 2.5 back.
Yeah. We'll get those numbers straightened out. 1 ball, 1 strike on Brett Lawrie. Swing and a miss.
And Brett Lawrie, more of a fly ball hitter. He's only grounded into a couple of double plays this year, but that's exactly what Shane Green needs here. Either a slow breaking ball away from Lawrie or a good two-seam fastball at the bottom of the strike zone might get that ground ball here to get the 2 outs.
Eric Sogard waiting on deck. Here's the 1-2. On the ground, but it's going to find a hold into right field. Reddick, meanwhile, is on his way to third base. Here's the throw from Collins. And they'll have runners at first and third. That ball hit him in the back. So the A's threaten here in the second.
He did throw the breaking ball. He did get the ground ball, but a seam was found on the right side of the infield by Brett Lawrie, and good base running by Reddick. And once this ball got past him, he took one peek at Collins, and he realized that Collins was playing deep, and he forced the issue going first to third.
Runners at the corners now for Sogard. Athletics trying to score first in this game. Sogard bumped up to 7 in the lineup today. Ball 1. Got the standings corrected now. Here's where the Tigers stand. They are 4 games behind KC and Minnesota. Minnesota splitting a doubleheader in Boston. The Royals won their ball game last night. They beat Corey Kluber again. Sogard looks at a strike. 1-1. No hits in the series for Sogard. He has scored a couple of runs, batting .247 on the year. He's got Reddick at third, Laurie at first. And misses inside, and the count goes 2-1 on Sogard. The A's have won 8 of their last 11 games, and that followed a stretch of 14 defeats in 16 games. So they were really wallowing, but they've come on of late.
Their starting pitching has been outstanding. That's the main reason why they've won 8 of their last 11.
Laurie back in, standing up. Yeah, their starters over their last 11 games have an ERA just a little bit over 1. We saw Sonny Gray last night, and he was outstanding.
He was as good as advertised, with a power fastball that got all the way up to 97 miles an hour. Sonny really didn't even need that many breaking balls last night. Heavy dose of fastballs thrown at the Tigers hitters.
The 2-1. Low. 3 balls, 1 strike on Sogard. Sanchez brought some problems last night when he walked the 8 and 9 hitters in the second inning, and that led to a bases loaded triple by Billy Burns, which put the A's on top, and they never trailed. Green trying to avoid walking Sogard here. And a bouncer back to the mound. Shane throws it wildly into center field. A run will score. Everybody is safe, and it's 1-0 Athletics. Double play ball is thrown away.
Yeah, you can see it coming. Yeah, Shane just thought about it way too much and simply bounced it. And if Iglesias can't catch it, it's not catchable. The Tigers pitchers have only committed 4 errors this season, so they've done a pretty nice job of, when they have picked up the baseball, throwing it to the proper base accurately, but not here.
Well, you don't see this often, but Brad Ausmus making a trip out to the mound in the first, or make it the second inning, early in the game, and he's out there just to deliver a message.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with mechanics, that visit by Ausmus.
So Green, who failed to back up third on that base hit by Laurie and then throws away what looked to be a double play ball, gets a visit from Ausmus. And it's 1-0 in favor of the A's. They have 3 hits on the board. That is a fielder's choice, E1, and an RBI. That's the ruling on the Sogard ground ball. That'll bring up the catcher, Josh Phegley. He drives one to the gap in right center field. That's looking like trouble. It's going to go all the way to the wall. This will get 2 runs in for the A's. Phegley is on his way to third base, and he has himself a triple. And it's 3-0 Athletics.
And Shane Green throws a hanging breaking ball to Phegley at about 85 miles an hour at the top of the strike zone, and Phegley, he didn't miss it. Anthony Gose in center field couldn't run it down, nor could Tyler Collins, who's playing right field. And these Athletics, all of a sudden, in the last couple of days, their bats have really woken up.
Phegley gets RBIs 5 and 6. Tigers draw the infield in with a runner at third, nobody out. And a strike called on Billy Burns. Or it's Fold, rather. Burns on deck. Fold at 191. Has not homered this year. Has 8 RBIs. He'll try and deliver the runner from third. And he looks at a ball inside. 1-1. Fold really coming off a tough month. In May, he batted just 113. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Samfold.
And better movement on this last pitch by Green at the bottom of the zone.
Tigers fell behind 3-0 early in the ballgame last night, never recovered. It's fouled back out of play. 1-2, the count stays on full. 2 singles started the inning, and what appeared to be a double play ball was thrown away by Shane Green, and that has turned out to be a huge play in this inning. And he got him, strike 3. Green needed that, a strikeout of Fold. It's his second strikeout of the ball game. 1 out. Time now for the Lowe's Never Stop Improving stats. When you look at Billy Burns, on base percentage, batting leadoff in the minimum of 100 at bats in baseball. You got Kipnis, who's done really good work. Burns on that list, along with D. Gordon, Ellsbury.
Jason Kipnis was the player of the month in the American League. He had about 51 hits for the Cleveland Indians. He was getting it done.
Unreal month for Kipnis. So Burns slices one, diving play, it's short by Iglesias. That thing was headed to left field, and Jose hauls it in. Runner holds.
Jose has outstanding reflexes at the shortstop position. That ball right on the line, 1 step down to 1 knee, and took that knock away from Billy Burns.
So now the infield will push back with 2 outs. Here is Ben Zobrist. Popped up in his first at bat to the first baseman Cabrera. Zobrist now 1 for 8 in the series. He's had 3 walks, 4 RBIs. Low ball 1. 1-1 on Zobrist. That grand slam that he hit the other night was his 6th career grand slam. The leader among active players is Alex Rodriguez with 24 of them. Here's the 1-1. Drilled to right field. It is sinking and caught. Tyler Collins made the play, but the Athletics get 3 runs. that frame. It was a 2-run triple. However, Green was able to limit the damage. They had a runner at third, nobody out, and they had to settle for 3. But the Tigers just got to get the bats going now. Cespedes, Kinsler, and J.D. Martinez in the second, facing Jesse Hahn. Hahn had him 1-2-3 in the first. And now Cespedes, who has 3 hits in the series. Yoenis had the Tigers' first hit of the night last night, a single in the 4th inning with 2 outs.
He has 3 hits in the series, as you mentioned, 2 of those to right field and 1 right back up the middle. And for the most part, they have thrown him a lot of fastballs away.
1 ball, 1 strike.
And Cespedes is known as a dead pull hitter, and most of his damage this year has been done to the pull field, but he has been taking what his former team has been giving him in this series. And that's simply base hits the opposite direction.
Down he goes. Cespedes fouls that one off his foot.
Hahn stands 6 feet 6 inches, and with the wingspan that he has and the high 3/4 arm slot, he gets a lot of sink on his 2-seamer. He's already thrown some outstanding moving 2-seam fastballs at about 92 miles an hour, and this one hit right off the foot of Cespedes.
When Yoenis was signed back in 2012, the Marlins also made a bid to get him. Only they offered the same money, really. The A's did. Only the Marlins offered it over 6 years, while the A's offered it over 4 years.
That's why he's a free agent after this season. The wise decision by Cespedes.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Hahn is first.
We talk about Hahn and the lethal 2-seam fastball that he has, but he also has a really good breaking ball. He has a curveball and a slider. That's the curveball. It's a little bit slower, obviously, and he gets lots of swings and misses on that particular pitch along with the slider.
Here's Ian Kinsler.
Tigers hitters have been making a lot of pitchers look awfully good lately.
Well, Hahn had the 4-hit shutout against the Tigers back in Oakland, facing them for the 2nd time now. And he's got himself a 3-0 lead.
He was 22 of 23 in first pitch strikes that day against the Tigers.
Unheard of.
22 of 23. And it was such an odd game because they made 3 errors behind him, but yet he was able to pitch out of it because he got 3 double plays hit off Tigers' bats.
Yeah, Hahn's been the victim of some shoddy defense. 8 unearned runs this year, which is the most of the American League. And he misses again. 3 balls and no strikes. 15 errors committed by the defense behind Jesse Hahn. That's also an American League high. Kinsler takes way outside, ball 4. Will be their first base runner of the ball game. Well, the Cubs make a rare appearance at Comerica Park. It's a 2-game series coming up on June 9th and 10th. Both games 7:08 starts. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Joe Madden and the Chicago Cubs, with all their young talent.
They have a lot of it.
J.D. Martinez stands in. 256 for Martinez. And Hahn now has missed again 5 in a row, and that's going to bring catcher Fegley out to the mound.
The one thing that Brad Ausmus would love to do in this game, but he's already trailing by 3 runs. He would love to put runners in motion in these types of counts, knowing that Hahn threw 15 ground ball outs 10 days ago against his team, but he might be a little reluctant in running because they aren't trailing by 3 early.
One and 0. Well, sometimes I guess you got to forego conventional wisdom and do some things to get your team jump started. So he just might do it anyway, down by 3. if the opportunity presents itself. I mean, this is a ball club now. We're speaking of the Tigers that have lost 6 consecutive games. 1 ball, 1 strike on Martinez. Low 2-1.
Well, here's another count where he could do it. 2 balls and 1 strike. You know you're going to get a fastball here from Hahn. You know it's going to be at the bottom of the strike zone. And so you force Martinez into swinging, who has struggled in this series against A's pitching. And you also have a guy on first base who can run, in Ian Kinsler. And so if he's going to do anything, this might be the pitch to do it.
Runner holds, and it's popped up. First base side, let's see if there's room. There is not. Back in the seats.
Here was that start that Hahn made against the Tigers 10 days ago. 15 ground ball outs. They turned 3 double plays against Tigers hitters. It seemed like every time the Tigers had a runner on base, there was Hahn making a quality pitch. He also had an outstanding breaking ball, and the Tigers have a dominant right-handed lineup, and he just kind of had his way against Tigers bats that day, and they really hadn't seen him prior to that.
Kinsler is chased back. Ian down there at first base with 1 out, the first Tigers base runner of the game. Two is hammered foul down the right field line. JD is 0 for 8 in the series, 0 for his last 10 now. Waiting on deck, left-handed batting Tyler Collins. Even though the Tigers have gone through some struggles, they are still second in the American League with a .269 team average. Only Kansas City has been better this year. Bender is popped up, and again heading back to the seats. A lot of souvenirs being handed out by JD Martinez. Three-game series for the Tigers coming up in Chicago. The good news for the Detroiters is they will not face Chris Sale.
How about Samardzija?
Yeah, they will, however, get him on the Sunday game. Hahn made it close that time. Kinsler just got back.
And nice quick snap throw over to first base by Jesse Hahn. Like Kinsler was leaning towards second.
Again, Kinsler chased back.
Hahn realizes how important it is to make sure that Ian Kinsler stays right where he's at to keep his double play in order.
Grounded foul, third base side. So it's been a pretty good battle here for JD Martinez. Count stays 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hahn was acquired from the Padres in the Derek Norris deal. Made the jump last year from Double-A to the big leagues and put up some decent numbers. Was 7-4 in the majors. Breaking ball hammered to left field, and the move is Fold sliding out there in left. Kinsler going to have to hustle back to the bag at first.
Sam Fold is a good defender. He can play center field, he can play right field, and obviously he plays left field. He didn't take the conventional route to get to this one, but I guess it really only matters whether you make the play or not. I think he thought that ball was going to go further than it did, and he took the banana route to make that play. J.D. Martinez, his last 2 at-bats, he squared up a line drive to center field last night to Burns. He squared that one up. So looks like J.D. might be getting back on track.
The ball he hit to end the ball game last night to straightaway center and Burns, I thought he got all of that one.
Yeah, he squared it up.
So here's Collins now with 2 outs. Strike in the inside corner to Tyler Collins. Had a couple of hits when he faced Collins back in Oakland last week. That one catching the inside part of the plate. Tyler sends a ground ball foul, first base.
And picked by Omar Vizquel.
Yeah.
He must have ate his breakfast this morning.
Omar's still showing off. He's ready to make the throw, too.
You see he got his feet set, turned before that ball even got in the hands.
Clinic. The 0-2. Low and away, 1-2.
It's a changeup there thrown by Hahn, and you can see that there wasn't a whole lot of conviction in throwing that pitch. When he throws his fastball, his slider, and his curveball, he's got really nice, good arm swing and arm speed. But on that changeup, he really slowed down his arm speed. 71% fastballs thrown by Hahn so far.
Little chopper hit to the right side, fielded by Vogt. Hahn will cover, and the Tigers are done. No runs, a walk, 1 left. Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire. Why? Well, because Daniel now has taken over in left field for Yoenis Cespedes. It'll be his first appearance in the major leagues. He was called up a couple of days ago. And Fields now has taken over in left.
Of course, Daniel Fields is born right here in Detroit.
Stephen Vogt will start things off. Looks at ball 1.
Mom Julie can't contain herself
No,
right
she
now.
can't. Look at that. She is so excited. Wow.
My baby has made it to the big leagues.
All that work has finally paid off. 2-0 meanwhile on Vogt. Base hit back at the first for Stephen Vogt. That'll be inside, and the count goes 3-0. Athletics got 3 runs in the second on a fielder's choice ground ball and a 2-run triple. Way inside on 4 straight. Vogt gets a walk.
It kind of looked like to me that Green was not going to give Stephen Vogt anything to hit. That's the 28th time that Stephen Vogt has walked this year, who's having a career year.
That'll bring up Billy Butler. Green struck him out in the first inning.
And Billy Butler grounded into a double play last night. It was the 9th that he had hit into this year, and it's not uncommon for Billy to hit into quite a few twin killings.
Yoenis Cespedes left this game with flu-like symptoms. That's why Daniel Fields is out and left.
And Daniel was called up a couple of days ago. And Rajay Davis was on the paternity list. Rajay not back yet, is he?
I don't believe so. I didn't see him in the locker room today.
Third day that Daniel has been with the big league club, but this is his first action in the field.
Here's the 0-1 to Butler.
I mean, it's one thing like to get your first at bat, you know you're starting the game, but it's a whole nother ball game when you're making your major league debut and they put you in on the defensive end.
Well, I was about to ask you that. Is it any easier or tougher to enter as your major league debut?
I think it would be tougher.
Really?
I think it would be tougher.
1-1 on Butler.
It's not easy either way.
Rip foul down the left field line.
But Daniel's been known for his defense. He's a tremendous center fielder, so he has outstanding instincts in the outfield, good throwing arm, athletic body, but doesn't play left field all that often. He is a center fielder and has pretty much played center fielder throughout the minor leagues.
Well, it's such a great sight to see a native Detroiter make his major league debut wearing the Tigers uniform right here in Detroit. 1-2 on Butler. He drives this one toward left field. Fields on the run, not going to get it. It'll go up against the wall. Vogt is on his way to third base. They're going to send him home. Butler has a double and an RBI, and it's 4-0 Athletics.
5 days ago against the Los Angeles Angels, when Green gave up the 5 home runs, he gave up the majority of those hits on fastballs. Today it's been the breaking ball that he's thrown a little bit more, but he's not getting it to the location. This is a hanging breaking ball to Billy Butler, who absolutely scorches it into the left center field gap for another RBI and another double.
Butler extends his hitting streak to 6 in a row. And by the time Fields was able to dig it up, Vogt was able to come around and score. 4 runs on 5 hits now for the A's. Josh Reddick looks at ball 1. Reddick had a single to start things off in the second, eventually came around to score their first run. Meanwhile, Blaine Hardy is warming up in the Detroit bullpen. Early action for the Tigers in their pen today. That's ripped right back up the middle. They're going to try and go to third here. Butler caught the run down now, and Billy's going to be tagged out.
That's a good heads-up play by Iglesias, who was on the right side of the infield with Ian Kinsler, looking out of the corner of his eye on the ground ball with Billy Butler running. Billy, not the fleetest of foot. Iglesias simply grabbed it, took one peek out of the corner of his eye, and flipped it over to Castellanos to get the out.
So the Tigers will take that exchange. Runner at first now with 1 out. Here's Brett Lawrie. In there for a strike, 0-1. Lawrie also a single back in the second. He's now 5 for 8 in the series against Tigers pitching. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Much better breaking ball there thrown by Green. That one he released out in front. He got on top, and the wrists were able to bend, and he got a lot more depth on the pitch.
Lawrie has struck out a lot this year, 58 of them, which is 7th in the American League. And Shane's got him 0-2. Low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Eric Sogard waiting on deck. We're in the third here at Comerica. 4-0 Athletics. Lowry started out very slowly this year, had a tough month of April, hit .295 in the month of May. And again, it started June with a bang. He's had a big series here versus Detroit. A's are on their way to Boston after this series is done. The Tigers are headed to Chicago.
And both the Tigers and the Athletics going to a couple of nice cities where you can enjoy a really nice dinner on a night off. You buying tonight?
You know what? I'm buying tonight. Just hang with me. I'll get it done. 2-2 the count. Leadoff walk in the inning. Butler then doubled in a run. Here's the 2-2, and it's hammered foul back out of play. You got your spots in Chicago. You have your own spots that you normally go to every time.
When we have a night off in Chicago, I usually find a nice Italian meal somewhere.
Yeah.
They've got some really nice Italian restaurants. There's several of them, and I usually try to find a really nice restaurant to go to on a night off. But there's so many restaurants in Chicago, you can't go wrong.
Green again ready with the 2-2. Here it is. And it's lined right to first. Miggy stepping on the bag for the double play. Nice play by Cabrera. So the A's will settle for one run on the double by Butler. But the line double play off the bat of Brett Lawrie ends the inning. You to stay tuned for Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll select our Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by the 2 for $5 mix or match filet of fish and 10-piece McNuggets. Castellanos will lead things off. He'll be followed by Holiday and then Ghosts. Nick batting in the 8th spot in this one. Jesse Hahn through the first 2 innings, giving up a walk but no damage. Tigers in search of their first hit. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Nick shoots it back up the middle. There's your first hit. Leadoff single for Detroit.
Here's one sinker ball that Hahn did not bury at the bottom of the strike zone. It's at 91 that stayed up long enough for Castellanos to catch up to it and whistle it right back through the box. Hahn throws so many fastballs. If you're the Tigers and you just stay patient, and you don't press and you don't get over aggressive, he'll give you a really good fastball to hit. But the fact of the matter is they've been struggling so much. You've got so many guys that are pressing. Guys are going up there and swinging at the first thing they see.
Ryan Holiday doing the catching today, stands in. He had started a game since the 27th of May. That was back against the A's in Oakland.
Yeah, James McCann caught all 4 of those games out west against the Los Angeles Angels and caught the first 2 of this series.
McCann getting a break after 6 in a row. 1 ball, 1 strike. You mentioned what we were talking about earlier. It seems like Alex Avila is on the comeback trail. He's going to take some BP in Chicago over the weekend, and who knows, maybe able to rejoin the team next week.
No disrespect to Holiday nor James McCann, both really good catchers, but they do miss Avila and his leadership skills behind the plate. Tigers in their last 11 games are starting pitching only 2 quality starts.
Hard to quantify sometimes what a catcher means to the ball club, but Avila is certainly a veteran that has handled his staff for several years now.
Real nice aptitude, calls a real nice game, and seems to be on the same page with all the pitchers.
Bouncing ball toward third. That is going to be a foul ball, says Jim Joyce. Joyce quickly made the call out from behind home plate. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 again, and it's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Holiday hit his first homer of this season in his first start back on May 14th against Minnesota. He's got a couple of career home runs. And the 2-2 outside. Good pickup by Fegley, holding the runner at first base. Full count now on Ryan Holiday.
When you call for the breaking ball as a catcher, you have to be ready to get down and block it, and that one right off the right palm of the hand of Fegley, but he kept it in front of him. If you're Ausmus, you would love to stay out of a double play should Holiday hit something on the ground, but it may be a little bit risky here to run Castellanos from first base. Speed not necessarily part of his game, but we'll see.
Runner going, and it's grounded foul.
I like it.
I do too, and we talked about that earlier. I mean, the team is down 4-0 right now, but it started Castellanos with the proclivity of getting ground balls for the right-hander Hahn in double plays. Might as well let him go.
Yeah, Brad knows exactly what we know, that Hahn throws lots of double play balls, 3 against his team 10 days ago. But he also understands if Holiday swings and misses, and Castellanos will be thrown out at second.
Here goes Nick again, and it's drilled in the air to center, straight at Billy Burns. They'll send Castellanos back. 1 out. That'll bring up Anthony Gose, which also brings us to the Bernstein advantage, the pitcher-batter matchup. And for Anthony Gose, let's see, batting average this year against right-handed pitchers is really good. Hahn gives up a .301 mark against lefties.
Anthony Gose has to get it going again. When he showed up in spring training this year in February, he was swinging a really nice bat, and he really did swing a nice bat all through until about the last 2 weeks, where he's kind of struggled a little bit. The batting average is now under 300 for Anthony.
Yeah, the first time it's been below 300 since the beginning of May.
And for those of you that do not know, Ghost does not take any batting practice on the field. He works in the cages, whether the Tigers are on the road or at home. Just feels more comfortable getting himself prepared for games by taking his reps in the batting cage.
Ghost is now 0 for his last 17. Flat out his first time up.
Seems hard for guys that have the kind of speed that Ghost has to go into those kinds of lengthy slumps. 0 for 17.
Swing and a miss.
Good changeup there thrown by Hahn, one of the best ones he's thrown here today. Circle change. Nice fading action down away from Ghost.
On using the off-speed pitch to get ahead of Ghost. That's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Anthony does have 15 multi-hit games, a good portion of those early in the month of May and through the entire month when he was red hot. The 15 multi or the career high. He's got a career high in extra base hits as well. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Now you see the change up here again. You can see the grip that he has, and you can see the circle right there with the thumb and the index finger, and that creates the fading action once that ball gets into the strike zone. He's thrown 2 really good ones at Anthony that Anthony just hasn't been able to pick up.
That one cued just foul, third base side.
If you're Hahn, you might want to use that changeup a little bit more against left-handed bats. We told you in his last outing against the Yankees, he gave up 7 hits. 5 of those were to left-handed batters, and he lost that game. But when he goes up against righties, like the Tigers, he kind of has a lot more success.
The changeup might, against lefties, bring that number down from 301. Again, the 1-2, shattered bat roll towards second. They'll shovel there for 1. Relay. Got him, double play. A 4-6-3. And so that'll be it for the Tigers here in the third. We'll go to the fourth. To nothing. Menards brings you the big money encounter. That is the site of Tiger Stadium, and back at Tiger Stadium we had a tremendous encounter. Remember the Dave Bergman hit on this date back in 1984? Dave broke a 3-3 tie in the 10th inning a walk-off 3-run homer. He fouled off 7 pitches in that at bat before he finally got Roy Lee Jackson.
Roy Lee Jackson, former teammate of mine, just briefly though in Rochester. We both played for the Red Wings back in 1985 before he was called up to the big leagues.
Here's a bouncer back up the middle into center field, and Sogard has a single. Did he ever talk to you about that at bat?
No, he really hasn't ever talked to me about that at bat, but I called him today and I didn't get a hold of him when I knew we were going to do that here today, but I couldn't catch him.
One of the great at-bats in Tigers history. Of course, we lost Dave Bergman earlier this year in his battle with cancer. Here is Josh Phegley as the Athletics now have 6 hits on the board. Phegley had a big hit, 2-run triple in his last at bat. He looks at a ball inside. Tigers have had some action on and off in the bullpen, and now it looks like Blaine Hardy is once again throwing in their pen. Here's the 1-0, and it's low. 2 balls, no strikes. Phegley, a former Chicago White Sox catcher, had a big series in the one they just completed against the Yankees. He was 5 for 8 in that series. Showed some big power numbers in the minor leagues last year. AAA with the White Sox, hit 23 homers. And he's ahead 2-0. Now it's 2-1. Phegley behind the plate today. They have moved Stephen Vogt to first base to keep Vogt's bat in the lineup. Outside, it gets away from Holiday. To the backstop it goes. That will advance the runner. Wild pitch will move Sogard to second base.
That is the first wild pitch on court this season by Shane Green.
We'll see if the A's can take advantage of it. Nobody out in the inning.
Yeah, see if Phegley's trying to move Sogard over the third by a ground ball the opposite way or through the right side of the infield.
Yep. Right at Miguel. He's going to come across the diamond, though, and his throw is in time.
That's just a heads-up play by Miguel, who does so much with the bat, and that his defense goes underrated. He has not made an error at first base all year. Ball hit sharply. Sogard has speed at second base, but Miggy didn't even think about it. He comes up and fires a strike, and I mean a strike, to Castellanos. Castellanos able to apply the tag.
So it makes Cabrera so heads up. He did not hesitate 1 second and knew that anything hit sharply to him, he had a chance.
And he's got a cannon for an arm. Absolute cannon for an arm.
No errors this year for Miguel. Runner at first with 1 out. Sam Full takes ball 1. He struck out in a big spot back in the second. Had a runner at third, nobody out, and he couldn't get him in. 189 batting average now for Sam Full. Ball too high. Bouncing ball to short. Iglesias to second. 1. There's a double play, and just like that, the inning is over. 6-4-3. We head to the bottom of the 4th at Comerica. And just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Jesse Hahn going back to the hill, and he will face 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup. Iglesias, Cabrera, in the first big league at bat for Daniel Fields, who entered the game for Yoenis Cespedes. Flu-like symptoms for Cespedes. Iglesias popped up to the pitcher his first time up. Tigers have only one hit, the single by Castellanos leading off the third. And Jesse Hahn, the 25-year-old out of Norwich, Connecticut, goes back to the hill. Iglesias looks at strike one. Jose now 1 for 9 in the series.
Iglesias needs to get back to driving the ball the opposite way as he was doing when he was batting in that number 9 hole.
Good bunt. Hahn quickly off. Quick throw.
It's a good idea by Iglesias. The one thing that he could do differently there was wait a little bit longer in the batter's box to make sure that you placed it down the third baseline, where Hahn had to take a couple of more steps to get to it. And had he been able to do that, there's no doubt he gets a single. But this one, he gets too close to Hahn. Hahn able to make the play and get Iglesias out.
So with one gone, here is Cabrera. Miguel rolled down 6-3 his first time up.
That's the best fastball that Jesse Hahn has thrown here today. 94 on the radar gun. Somehow Miguel just kind of brings out the best in most starting pitchers, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, 93 usually turns into 96.
Sonny Gray last night was 92, 93. All of a sudden, Miggy went up there, and Sonny Gray, he got all the way up to 97.
Here's the 2-0. 2-1 on Cabrera. He's got 3 in the second, 1 in the third to lead 4-0. Here's the 2-1. Miggy cues that one to the first baseman. Hahn will cover, and there are 2 gone. That'll bring up Daniel Fields.
The left fielder, Daniel Fields.
First major league at bat for Daniel Fields.
Awfully special. What a wonderful young man.
So Fields' first major league at bat. Called up a couple of days ago from AAA Toledo. And he takes a swing and fouls it straight back.
He's got some great bat speed. He really showed up in spring training this year, ready to try to win a backup job. Hit a couple of home runs in spring training and really put himself on the map and put himself on the fast track to get to the big leagues, and now he's here.
Daniel looks at a breaking ball, strike count, quickly 0-2 on Fields.
Yeah, 76 with that bender there from Jesse Hahn.
He was leading the International League with 33 runs scored. And he takes low, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Larry Parrish, the manager in AAA, said Daniel Fields was just a different hitter when he showed up this year.
Lifted back out of play.
Of course, Daniel's dad, Bruce, is the minor league hitting coordinator in the Tigers minor league system. He was here a couple of days ago. Bruce has gone to West Michigan, but I'm sure he's watching right now.
And what a thrill to watch your son take his first major league at bat in his hometown. The 1-2. Got him. Strike 3 on the inside corner. Daniel didn't like it, but he's out of there. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jesse Hahn for the books here at Comerica. Daniel Fields has just taken his first major league at bat. Well, I know the family was excited about it. Let's check in with Johnny Kane now. He's standing by with the Fields family.
That's right, Mario. Excited is one word to describe it. Also nervous here with Daniel's mom, Julie. Julie, I can feel it over here. I can feel the nervous energy. Kind of take us through the experience there when you heard your son's name called.
You know, I am so nervous right now, but this is the moment he has played baseball for since he was in the Southfield House League. He's been to this ballpark 1,000 times with his dad, and it's just different. You know, it's about him now, and I'm excited. I'm happy. He has worked hard. People don't understand what these guys go through, and he's fought through a lot of injuries, and there's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. But I have my U of D Jesuit Mother's Cub bracelet on, and I'm nervous.
That's okay. That's okay. What do you think he's feeling right now? Obviously, you know, he wasn't in the starting lineup, but then Yoenis has to leave with flu-like symptoms, and then not only does he come in to make his major league debut, but he's batting cleanup behind Miguel Cabrera.
Somebody's got to knock Miggy in.
I know. Well, he's going to get another chance here. What has Bruce been able to say to him? I know Bruce isn't here right now. He's watching in Grand Rapids, but what's that relationship been like, and what kind of advice has he given him?
You know, at this point, he just told him, you've worked hard, you deserve it, just focus, keep doing what you've been doing, and it's going to come. You know, at this point, I don't think there's a lot left to say. You know, they stay up late at night talking about hitting. When Daniel's home, they have a bat in the family room, and they're swinging and looking at video. So at this point, I don't know if there's much left to say.
Well, I'll ask you one last question. Does it feel like you thought it would feel, or is it even more surreal?
I knew I was going to be nervous, and it pretty much feels like I thought it was going to feel.
All right, very good. Well, continued success for you and your entire family, and hopefully Daniel's going to be knocking in Miggy, and we can get this game tied up here before long.
Thank you very much.
All right, very good. That's one nervous but excited mother here in Julie Fields, rooting on her boy here who's put in the blood, sweat, and tears. We'll send it back up to the booth with Mario and Rob.
All right, Johnny, thanks very much. What a great interview. And Julie is such a nice person. I'll tell you what, Bruce, if you are watching, and I'm sure you are, you've got to be extremely proud of your entire family. And can you imagine, Rod, what it's like for Bruce right now?
No, I can't imagine. I know he's happy. All the BPs thrown to Daniel. I've watched him throw BP to Daniel, and I've heard them talk about hitting tirelessly, just like a lot of dads do with their children that have aspirations of being big league ball players. I've known Julie for 30 years, and I've never heard her lost for work.
Well, she did a great job, nervousness or not. She was outstanding. I can't imagine what it's like to sit in that seat right now, but she was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Zobrist, the batter here. It is 4-0 in favor of the A's as we play in the 5th inning. They've got a leadoff single from Billy Burns.
He can run, and so if you're Shane Green, you have to make sure you don't allow him to steal second. He'll be off on the move on one of the first 2 pitches if you don't utilize your slide step. He has really energized the Oakland Athletics offense, batting leadoff.
Strike call on Zobrist.
Zobrist, a real good number 2 hitter, and taking that first fastball just in case. And Billy Burns was thinking about running.
0 for 2 today for Zobrist, a pop-up and a fly ball. Tigers have been out hit 7-1 in this game. Runner goes. Strike call, throw down is high and a steal. Billy Burns has stolen his 10th.
And once Billy Burns figured out that Green does not have a great pickoff move, along with Ty Waller, who's the first base coach, had to stop watching his hand. They timed that first pitch. They figured that they could exploit the weakness by stealing a bag. And Burns has got a lot of speed. He stole 54 bags last year in the minors.
10 out of 12 this year in the big leagues. Got himself in a scoring position with nobody out. Good block there by Holiday. 1-2 on Ben Zobrist.
And even though there's a left-hander standing in the batter's box, if you're Iglesias playing out of position right now from your normal shortstop occupation, and Burns, he might just try to steal third, so you have to be careful here.
He had Shane Green at a 1-2-2 delivery on that stolen base by Burns.
Usually that's good enough for the catcher. 1-2-2.
Drill to right field. Hook. It will. It'll go foul. One and two. The count stays on Zobrist. Stephen Vogt will be next. Three in the second for the A's. One more in the third. They threaten again here in the fifth. Zobrist pulls that one foul. Right there to make the call, Greg Gibson. Zobrist, a two-time All-Star. He made it in 2009 and 2013. That one just fouled. He's been a high on-base percentage guy in his career. He's drawn a lot of walks over the years. Now Green again with a 1-2 outside 2-2, and it seems, Ron, that every time the trading deadline rolls around, Zobrist's name always comes up.
He's very valuable. He can play second, short, third. He can play left, center, right, also some first base, and he hits. He's a switch hitter. He's a good teammate. Those guys have value around the trade deadline.
Lifted left side of the infield. Castellanos back to the grass.
I would not be shocked one bit if Billy Beane decided to trade Shane Green, Ben Zobrist at the trade deadline. One guy we do know that's untouchable on the Oakland Athletics squad, that would be one Sonny Gray.
Yep, we saw him last night. They need to hold on to him.
He's the only untouchable.
So Zobrist unable to advance the runner. Stephen Vogt will step in.
Zobrist gave a great effort at trying to get it done, though. Finding the off speed that he popped up. Nice pitch by Shane.
Shane not going to deal with Vogt. They'll put him on and try and get the double play ball from Butler. Intentional walk for Stephen Vogt.
And the one thing that Shane Green needs to make sure of here after the intentional base on balls to Stephen Vogt, he needs to make sure that he pays close attention to Burns. Burns is going to try to steal second base. Third base.
Yeah. This will be the third intentional walk for folks. Hey, join us again tomorrow. The Tigers head to Chicago. They'll be taking on the White Sox. Our coverage begins at 7 with Tigers Live. Tigers and Sox tomorrow at 7 on Fox Sports Detroit. In that ball game tomorrow night, the Tigers send Kyle Ryan to the hill against Jose Quintana. Here's Butler now. 2 on and 1 out. Billy had a double to drive in a run in the third. In there for a strike, 0-1. Green needs a ground ball desperately here. Got the call on that last pitch from Jim Joyce.
Yeah, well located breaking ball.
One. 9 double plays Butler has bounced into. Most on the Athletics team. Billy's numbers took a little bit of a dip last year in his final season with the Kansas City Royals. His average was the lowest of his big league career in the 270 range. That'll get back into the seats. 1-2 on Billy Butler. Butler wore number 16 with the Royals. When he came to the A's, Josh Reddick wore number 16, and Butler approached Reddick about giving up the number, and Reddick did. Reddick wearing 22 these days, but Billy holds on to 16.
What did he pay to get it?
Well, it's funny you ask, because it wasn't a watch. It wasn't the typical stuff. It wasn't cash. It was a winch.
A what?
I knew that'd be your response. You know what a winch is?
What is it?
It's a device used to wind up like wire cable with like a little crank handle.
Really?
Yeah, used on, I don't know, sometimes used on boats.
Reddick a little different, huh?
A little bit different. It's the first time I've ever heard of that. It's typically, you know, a watch or some money.
Donate to my charity.
Exactly. There's a base hit to left. And they're going to send Burns home. It got by Daniel Fields. This might get 2 runs in. It will. Billy Butler will go to second base. 2 runs in, and the Athletics lead 6-0.
Daniel Fields took his eye off that baseball. It's a solid base hit in the left field, hit off the bat of Billy Butler. And Daniel got there, and he looked up right there at the base runner, and he never got the glove down. So he also commits his first error in the majors.
That's going to be it for Shane Green. 5 runs on 8 hits in this ball game. Well said. Windows pitching change. Tigers go to the bullpen. Here comes Hardy. In the 5th inning, Blaine Hardy will check in to do some pitching for Detroit.
And Hardy's pitching in his 22nd game this year. He checks in with a 3 ERA, 17 strikeouts, 9 base on balls for Hardy. He's only given up 1 earned run in his last 18 games.
Tigers have committed 2 errors in this game. Now Josh Reddick will step in. Still only 1 out. Butler, by the way, was given 1 RBI on that last play. The other run scoring on the air by Fields. There's a strike called on Reddick. Single run scored today for Josh Reddick, 1 for 2.
And Tigers came in as the top fielding team in the American League with a .989 fielding percentage. They had only committed 22 errors all season, which was the fewest in the AL.
Well, the error they committed back in the 2nd turned out to be a huge one because it appeared to be a double play ball that Shane Green threw away. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Reddick. And that led to a 3-run inning, which set the tone early in this game. They've gone on to add 3 more. Reddick takes high, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Tigers have dropped 6 straight games. You have to go all the way back to 2011, the last time they dropped 6 games in a row.
Iglesias gobbles this one up. And Reddick is gone 6-3. Advanced the runner to 3rd now with 2 outs. Here's Brett Laurie. Green goes 4 1/3 today before giving way to Hardy here in the 5th. Laurie a single, lined into a double play in his last at bat. Ground ball to short. Here's Iglesias. That'll end the inning. They get a couple of runs. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Chevrolet, find new roads. Back here at the ballpark, good gathering here today for the Tigers and A's. Unfortunately, the A's have a 6-0 lead now as we go to the bottom of the 5th. And it's going to be Ian Kinsler, J.D. Martinez, Tyler Collins facing the right-hander. Jesse Hahn, who has kept the Tigers off the board through 4.
He's kept the Tigers off the board through 13 innings in the last 10 days. He threw a complete game shutout against the Tigers 10 days ago, so they have not been able to do anything against Jesse Hahn.
Hahn got a 1-2-3 in the 4th. Kinsler sends a ground ball to second, and right there is Zobrist. One away in the 5th inning. Well, the only way to get a 1945 replica road jersey is to visit tigers.com/jersey and buy a special package to see the Tigers take on the Chicago Cubs June 9th and 10th. Exclusive packages available only at tigers.com/1945 jersey. J.D. Martinez. Chopper to third. Laurie waits on it. Throw high. Tag. No! He pulled him off the bag. Like Vogt came down with the glove. Thought he tagged him. And we'll see if Bob Melvin wants to look at this. It appeared he tagged him. Yeah. Right on that left shoulder. Greg Gibson called him safe, and
this won't take very long.
Athletics are going to challenge us. Yeah, I agree. That's about as clear as they come right there.
That will be the 8th ground ball that Hahn has thrown here today. And if you weren't with us earlier, we told you that 10 days ago the Tigers grounded out 15 times. So they need to make Hahn get the ball up in the strike zone.
Here's another angle. And Jim Joyce about to signal out. So JD is gone. There are 2 outs. We'll bring up Tyler Collins. Seven straight retired by Jesse Hahn. He got Collins on a ground ball his first time. Ball 1. So we mentioned this earlier, but the resurgence of the A's can be tied directly to their pitching staff, and Hahn is kind of following suit today. Ball high, 2-0.
And it's not a lot of whole household names.
No.
I mean, you got Kazmir, who's not pitching in this particular series. You have Sonny Gray, and then you have Jesse Chavez. You have Jesse Hahn.
Ball hit deep to left field. Fuld going back to the wall. Sam Fuld hauls it in. And that's going to be it for the Tigers. Collins made a bid. Seems impossible. Here it is 6-0 as we go to the 6th inning. Blaine Hardy back to the hill. Eric Sogard leads it off, looks at ball 1.
You were talking about Sonny Gray last half inning, and it's pretty much between him and Dallas Keuchel, who might start the All-Star game for the American League if both guys continue to pitch as effectively as they have the first 2 months of the season.
Yeah, and it might be a toss-up. It's going to be hard to select if those 2 guys continue on the path that they are on. 1-1 is slapped toward left field, slicing away from Fields. It'll be a foul ball.
Told you that Daniel Fields, primarily a center fielder coming up in the minor league system, but he has played left field 30 times over the course of his minor league stops. He's made all of them. A-ball, AA, AAA, couple of years, which is typical for most high school kids. The college kids usually get to the big leagues a lot quicker.
Slice to left. That's a base hit. Sogard has his 2nd hit in this game.
Second time he slapped one in that direction. It's almost like playing pepper with Sogard, not trying to do a whole lot, just trying to make some contact.
Here's Josh Phegley. Oh, 0-1 on Phegley. Big 2-run triple in his first at bat. He's 1 for 2. One of the 9 hits that the A's have put up now. 6 runs on 9 hits for the Athletics. The A's have gotten the leadoff man on in every inning in this game except the first. Oh, 2.
That's a good breaking ball there thrown to Phegley. He started him off with a fading changeup away, and then he comes back with a breaking ball that goes the other direction. It's a knuckle curve. You can see the finger on the index finger. Little knuckle action.
Hardy's been really good. 1 earned run in his last 18 outings. Rolled foul.
And he could probably climb the ladder right now with a 4-seam fastball about 90 miles an hour. You'd probably get a swing and miss. But you have to get it up.
Been a lot of mainstays in this Tigers bullpen. Some bigger names, guys like Nathan and Soria and Chamberlain and even Albuquerque. But it's been guys like Wilson and Hardy that have pitched the best baseball out of the Tigers pen.
Yeah, they've saved the Tigers in the month of May for sure.
Sogard gets back in.
Albuquerque also had a really nice month in May. But the main reason why the bullpen was so good in the month of May, at least early in the month of May, is because the starters were going deeper in games, and Brad didn't have to use them that often. He's had to use them a lot lately.
And that's what gets a little bit concerning. You know, we talk a lot about, well, if you got, you know, a really deep bullpen that you can bring in from the 6th inning on, well, still you do need some length from your starters.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter how good they are in the bullpen if they're overused.
That's how you keep a good bullpen.
No doubt. Oh, 2 on Phegley. Way outside to the backstop it goes, and that will move the runner up.
And second wild pitch of the afternoon thrown by a Tigers pitcher. Shane Green also uncorked one. It's a 4-seamer that Holiday wanted up. This one just got away.
So with nobody out, again, the A's with a man in scoring position. The 1-2 in the air toward right field. Collins on the move. Runner will tag. Sogard will get to third. 1 out. And a chance now for Sam Fuld. So Phegley gets the congratulations for advancing the runner. Tigers now forced to pull the infield in. This worked out early in the game back in the 2nd when they saved a run by pulling the infield in.
The Oakland Athletics probably not coming on contact.
Bouncing ball right at the first baseman, and indeed the runner holds to third. Sogard was not coming.
When you're winning by 6 runs, really no need in forcing the issue.
Well, Saturday Major League Baseball on Fox Sports 1 returns. Rangers take on the Royals, and it's baseball night in America. An AL Central showdown between the Tigers and White Sox. Coverage begins at 1:30 Eastern on your home for baseball every Saturday, Fox and Fox Sports 1. 2 outs now with the infield back. Bouncing ball left side. Nice play by Castellanos, who pulls it in. Burns is out, and the Athletics are done. Park with the new Detroit Tigers 4-pack. Choose 4 bobblehead giveaways, 4 fireworks nights, or 4 weekday matinee games for as little as $73. Call 313-471-2255 or go online at tigers.com. Jesse Hahn back to the hill in the 6th. Nick Castellanos leads it off. And Nick looks at ball 1.
And Nick singled sharply the last time he was up. He got a fastball that was up and drilled it right back up the middle. And one of the few pitches that Hahn has gotten up here this afternoon.
Also the only hit that he has given up. And he's gone 2-0 on Castellanos.
And Nick will get himself another good fastball to hit.
Tigers in this game have had a single and a walk. In the air toward right field where Reddick is positioned. 1 out. It's 9 straight retired by Hahn. Here's Brian Holiday. Trying to recall, Rod, where the last time the Tigers were in this kind of offensive stretch. I mean, it's kind of puzzling. I know Victor Martinez is out of the lineup, and that's a big bat, but this is still a lineup that has a lot of weapons.
Well, I think you said it, though, although they would not make the excuse and down in their dugout in their clubhouse. They do miss Victor Martinez, a guy that finished second in the MVP balloting last year at the voting to Mike Trout, and what he did behind Miguel Cabrera.
Laurie takes the high hop, throws him out.
He got Miguel so many good pitches to hit last year because he was so good, and then JD Martinez was on fire because Victor was always on base. It's a trickle-down effect.
Well, the hope is that Victor is on the comeback trail soon, and they get the guy they had last year when he does come back.
Brad has tried a couple of different things to get the offense going. They didn't take batting practice last Saturday in Los Angeles. He simply gave the guys that night off. He switched the lineup, putting Iglesias at the number 2 spot, bumping Kinsler down, but nothing's worked.
Well, and that's just it. As a manager, it's not like you can create new pieces for your offense. You have what you have on your roster.
And you have some guys, as you mentioned, that have some really nice numbers on the backs of their baseball cards.
Goes up with the count 2-0.
It'll turn around. It just doesn't feel good right now, but it will turn around.
And as Brad said the other day, he feels that when it does turn around, there are going to be some pitching staffs that will pay for it.
For sure.
But the frustration of what the ball club is going through right now is kind of tough to wade through. 2-2 on Ghosts.
If you're the Chicago White Sox, and a few of them may be tuning into the telecast this afternoon, they play a night game in Texas tonight. And they know that the Tigers' bats will wake up sooner or later.
Here's the 2-2. Ghosts late swing fouls it back.
It looks like to me that the Tigers' approach today, and I don't fault the approach, is to drive the ball up the middle and to drive the ball the opposite way, which is a good approach when you're struggling as a team. But they've gotten themselves so many hanging breaking balls to hit today that guys have been late on because they're simply trying to that approach too much.
Little floater back short. It'll drop in. Base hit. Ghosts has a 2-out single here in the 6th.
First hit for Ghosts in a while, and sometimes you got to get jammed to get going again. 2 strikes. He told himself he wasn't going to be out in front. Simply fought off that 92 seam fastball and hit it over the head of the shortstop Sogard.
It snaps an 0 for 18 for Ghosts. Here's Iglesias. Hahn getting it done today without striking too many out. He has only 2 punch outs in this game. Pitch count right now, it's 75. Actually 76 for Hahn after that last pitch. He's gone to Iglesias twice. Pop up and a bounce out. In there for a strike. 1-1. Cabrera waiting on deck. Rolled foul. 1-2 now on Iglesias.
Here is our Xfinity high-speed pitch on Jesse Hahn. And top fastball 94, four-seam fastball. That was when Miguel Cabrera was standing in the batter's box. He has gone as low as 74 a couple of times. And with that real slow bender he's been featuring today.
A single by Ghost brought to an end the streak of 10 straight that had been retired. Flared in the air to shallow center, and that's going to drop. Base hit. The Tigers now string together a couple of 2-out singles. That's going to bring up Cabrera. Here are our T-Mobile game changers, and Cabrera part of the game changer for the Tigers, along with Alex Wilson, the Tigers' May Players of the Month. We talked about Wilson and what he's done out of the bullpen for the Tigers, and Miggy had 17 RBIs and 6 home runs, 300 batting average. Wilson was lights out of the pen. Well, the first time the Tigers now have had a man in scoring position. Let's see if Cabrera can come through here. He's 0 for 2. Swing and a miss, 0-1. $80 now for Hahn. Had a 6-pitch 5th inning.
And 10 days ago, when he pitched that complete game shutout against the Tigers, he threw a career high 112 pitches that day.
One swing and the Tigers cut this deficit right in half. That stayed up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Singles by Ghost and Iglesias with 2 outs, giving the Tigers some life here in the 6th. Here's the 1-1. Right back up the middle into center field, a base hit. Ghost rounding third. He will score 3 straight hits with 2 outs, and the Tigers are on the board.
They have finally scored a run against Jesse Hahn. Miguel knew after he missed with the 1-1 breaking ball, he was going to come back with that 92-mile-per-hour sinker. Miggy simply set his sights down low and hit an absolute seed right back up the middle. And Ghost able to score.
It'll also put Cabrera's on-base streak to 23 in a row. Not to mention his hitting streak has gone to 6 straight. But more importantly, the Tigers are on the board here. We'll see if they can continue to build on it. Daniel Fields will step in. Fields in his first major league at bat struck out looking in the 4th inning. He took over for Cespedes, who left the game with flu-like symptoms. Daniel watches a breaking ball sail in for strike 1.
First time Daniel was up, Hahn started him off with a fastball. Daniel had a pretty good swing at it, and he hasn't seen a fastball since then, other than when he froze him with that 2-seamer on the inside corner.
Outside, 1-1.
swing and a miss. Fields, for the first time this year, has been healthy. Daniel has gone through some injuries last couple of years. A torn abdominal muscle. He suffered a concussion, broken thumb. All of that is behind him, and we have seen what he can do when he's healthy. Hahn ready with the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Daniel. Two-out single by Gose, followed by a base hit from Iglesias, and Cabrera knocked one in with a single. Now the crowd finally something to cheer about. Here's the 2-2. Low, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Tigers now will start the runners with 2 outs. See if Daniel can find a gap here, score a couple of runs. Here's the 3-2. He got him. Strike 3. Fields is punched out.
Second time that he's gotten Daniel on the exact same pitch, running 2-seam fastball at 93 miles an hour.
Third strikeout of the game for Jesse Hahn, and that one is a big one. Like 6-1 now. They've gotten 4 hits on the board. They got their first run. We've got a wall-side windows pitching change. Tom Gorzelani is in now for Detroit.
A 20th game that Gorzelani has appeared in this year in the Tigers uniform. 5.29 earned run average. He has punched out 13. He has walked 6.
And for the Athletics, it'll be Ben Zobrist to start it off. Zobrist, Vogt, and Butler. It'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters facing Gorzelani. Shane Green left the game in the 5th. Hardy came on and went an inning and 2/3. Ball 1 inside to Ben Zobrist. Two balls, no strikes, so it hit him. Zobrist going to head to first base. And Brad wants to know where did it hit him. And so does Holiday. Holiday quickly jumped up. So Zobrist takes first base. Wait a minute. Now they're going to bring him back. That didn't hit him.
Never touched it.
When Brad come out and said it didn't touch him, and Joyce said, okay.
That's kind of odd.
I've never seen that. Oh, here comes Bob Melvin now saying, wait a minute here. How can the other manager come out and you just accept it and take him off first base? Interesting. It's not like all the umpires got together. Hey, did you see it? Did you see it? Bob Melvin can't be happy about this. So it's a 2-0 count on Zobrist, who very briefly had a hit by pitch. Yeah, there's a closer look. Yeah, clearly missed him. So they got it right. Now the 2-0. 2-1 on Zobrist. Oh for 3 for Ben in this ball game. 2 pop-ups and a flyout. Three and 1. Strike call. Zobrist again on his way to first. This time Jim Joyce called it back. Full count.
Zobrist trying to get down there, isn't he?
He is.
Any way he can.
He might have had a beef there. Now the 3-2. And he finally walks him, so Zobrist will take his base. Leadoff base on balls here in the 7th. He's going to bring up Stephen Vogt.
Yeah, they've been very successful this afternoon with their leadoff batters in the innings that they've played here. Only one inning did the leadoff hitter not reach base safely.
Yeah, that was the very first inning of the game. Every other inning the leadoff man has reached, and 3 of those have scored to this point. Ball 1 to Vogt.
No batting gloves for Vogt. A lot of pine tar on the bat. Pine tar all over the helmet. Having a career year. And he'll make an all-star team this season.
Yeah, no doubt. He has also worked at first base. They've got him playing there today, and Vogt has said that the work he's done with Aldretti and Gallego, 2 of their coaches, has really helped him with footwork at first base. Now they got Ron Washington aboard to help out.
Right. He's gotten some big hits. I mean, those are athletic ranks, but he's been one of the best hitting catchers overall in the American League as well.
1-2. Tigers today have been out hit 9-4. They trail 6-1. We're in the 7th. Here's the 1-2. Got him. Strike 3. Vogt caught looking. 1 gone. Gorzolani has his first strikeout.
We're going to make that our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. A nice job done here by Gorzolani, who just carves up the left-handed hitting and Stephen Vogt, and he finishes him off with a good four-seam fastball away from him on the black. Vogt looked like he was up there sitting on another breaking ball.
Butler's had a nice day. A couple of hits and a couple of RBIs. Drilled back out of play.
That's nothing new for Billy Butler against Tigers pitching, and especially in this ballpark. In all his years as a Kansas City Royal, when he came here, he played like he was playing at home.
Well, versus the Tigers, 320 career. The 0-1 pitch. He's batted .320 against the Tigers, only .326 against Seattle, the only team that he's hit better against.
Seattle has to be one of your more surprising teams this year on the losing side, I would say.
I would agree. He got Mark Trumbo in a deal yesterday to help out their offense.
They are 24-29 this year.
Houston continues to surprise people in first place by 6 over the Angels.
Oakland has won 8 of their last 11 games, but they still hold up the rest of the division.
Butler doubled in a run in the 3rd, singled in a run in the 5th. He was let go by the Royals in the offseason when they did not pick up his option. Billy said he had several clubs that contacted him. Baltimore, Seattle, and Texas all had interest, but Oakland came after him the hardest. He takes a ball outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Oakland also gave him a 3-year contract.
And while he is still kind of getting used to his new surroundings, it's tough, man. He was a part of that KC system for 10 years, 8 in the big leagues. And now leaving for the West Coast. 2-2 is high, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, for the longest time, Billy Butler really had no help offensively in the Kansas City Royals lineup. And they got guys like Hosmer and Moustakas and Kane and Escobar, and all of a sudden he was the one that was allowed to walk.
It all finally came together for the Royals last year. 3-2 pitch, runner going, and is fouled back out of play. Orsolani in place of Hardy, who went an inning and 2/3 scoreless baseball. Continuing to pitch well out of the Tigers' pen. Again, runner goes on 3-2, and it's ball 4. Butler gets a walk. It's 2 base on balls in this inning now for Orsolani. They'll bring up Reddick. Reddick is 1 for 3 with a single. Tigers get on the phone again. Getting some action going, perhaps in the bullpen. Reddick came into this game batting just .133 against left-handed pitching. He's got 2 men on here and a 6-1 lead in the 7th. And he bends away from a strike. Reddick homered in the ball game last night. It was his 8th of the year. He's had 3 hits in the series. That's in the air to center field. Goes backing up. Catch is made. Runners are tagging. Here comes Zobrist to 3rd. He's in standing up. First and 3rd now, 2 outs.
I wonder why Billy Butler is not on second base. When you see that ball coming from center field and you see that Ghost had missed the cutoff man, if you're Butler on first base, you clearly could have gotten yourself into scoring position.
Instead, Laurie now will hit with runners at 1st and 3rd. He has a single for 3. In the air to center. Ghosts on the run. This one is going to be over his head all the way to the wall. 1 run is in. Butler rumbling to 3rd base. They're going to stop him there. Laurie's had a big series. 2 more hits in this game, and now Another run in to make it 7-1 Oakland.
And not that it really matters, but had Butler moved up on the fly ball to center field when Zobrist did, and Laurie gets himself a couple of RBIs instead of just the one on the double that got all the way to the base of the 420 sign in center field.
I thought they still might try and score Butler, but they held him up. And now 10 hits on the board for the Athletics. Second and third, 2 outs. Here is Eric Sogard. Ball 1 to Sogard. 6 for 11 in the series now for Brett Laurie. And that's his 3rd double in this 3-game set. In for a strike, 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Sogard. Tigers in the bottom of the 7th have Kinsler, Martinez, and Collins due up. Meanwhile, Al Albuquerque tuning up in the Detroit bullpen. There was some action in the bullpen as well for Oakland. That's Drew Pomeranz. Swing and a miss. Sogard is out of there, and they'll settle for 1 run. Coming up, 7th inning stretch brought to you by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
One run. 10 days ago, he pitched a complete game shutout against the Tigers. Threw 15 ground ball outs in that game, and boy, he was at it again today. The Tigers really just have not been able to belly up, Jesse Hahn. 9 more ground ball outs here today for the long, lanky right-hander.
9 ground outs, 6 flyouts, and only 3 strikeouts for Jesse Hahn, who goes back to work in the 7th. Ian Kinsler starts it off for the Tigers. Only 4 hits today for Detroit. Kinsler looks at a strike. This is what we have on Hahn back on the 25th. That 4-hit shutout today, just 1 earned run in 6 innings. Slap to right field. That's going to drop in, base hit.
Boy, did he need that.
So the leadoff man on now for the Tigers here in the 7th. First hit of the series for Kinsler. Bring up J.D. Martinez. JD is 0 for 2, fly out, ground out. Oh and 1. Martinez now is 0 for his last 12. See if we can get him in the hit column today.
He's been awfully streaky this year. Either he is real hot or real cold. No in between.
Ground ball, foul, third base side. Yeah, what do you have, an 0 for 25 at one point?
16 strikeouts when he went through that 0 for 25 as well.
Then he followed that up with an 11-game hitting streak. It kind of has been a roller coaster year so far for JD. He's hit 9 home runs. He's knocked in 22.
He was batting right behind Miguel Cabrera when Victor Martinez went on the disabled list, and then started pressing in that spot. So, and Brad Ausmus put Cespedes there.
On at 93 in the pitch count total. Here's the 1-2. This time he came inside. 2-2. After Martinez, you got Tyler Collins. As Hahn is operating toward the bottom of the Tigers lineup here in the 7th. Got him. Strike 3. JD knew it. He is caught looking for just the 4th strikeout of the game for Hahn.
1 out. Of the 4 strikeouts that Hahn has recorded this afternoon, 3 of those have been looking.
Cespedes was the only one swinging, right?
Right.
That was before Yoenis left the ball game with flu-like symptoms. Here's Tyler Collins. 0-1. Tyler ground out, fly out, starting in right field today for the Tigers. That is smothered by Figley, holding Kinsler at first base. Lefties came in batting .305 against Hahn. Had much more success against right-handed batters, although he's had a lot of success period today and in 2 starts overall against the Tigers. Here's the 1-1. And the 2-1 pitch. Chopper foul down the first base line.
And Brad Ausmus is playing all the left-handers that he has at his disposal here this afternoon against Hahn, who struggles against left-handers. Could have started Romine. That would have given him another left-handed bat.
Oakland 7, Tigers 1. We're in the 7th inning. Go to the backstop, advancing the runner as Collins had to dance out of the way. So put Kinsler in scoring position. It's 100 now in the pitch count for Jesse Hahn. Here's what it looks like by inning.
Jesse Hahn has thrown at least 100 pitches in each of his last 6 starts.
Yeah, and the most he's thrown in that stretch was 112 2 starts ago. And that win against the Tigers. Now the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Collins down on strikes. 5 strikeouts for Jesse Hahn. Here's Castellanos.
Jesse really doing nothing different here today than he did when he had his last start against Detroit in Oakland. A lot of fastballs. 65% of the pitches that he has thrown today have been fastballs, anywhere from 89 up to 94 miles an hour. Most of his fastballs right around 92. That's when he gets most of his movement.
0-1 on Castellanos. Nick had a single back in the third. He is 1 for 2. Low and outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tiger threats have been few and far between. They broke in for a run in the 6th inning with 2 outs, nobody on. Ghost singled, Iglesias singled, and Miggy singled. Cabrera has the only RBI, his 36th of the year. Here's the 1-1. Line drive caught by the second baseman Zobrist. So nothing comes of the leadoff single. On our way to the 8th in Comerica. When it's time, come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Well, the Tigers find themselves on the wrong end of a 7-1 score as we go to the 8th inning. Mario and Pemba, Rhode Island, back here at Comerica Park as we wrap up this short 3-game homestand. Really kind of more of the same, and it's a little bit troublesome. But Jesse Hahn today, that makes it back-to-back starts that have been pretty good ones against the Tigers.
Well, he's got a nice 2-seam fastball. We brought up the fact that he struggles against left-handers, but the Tigers don't have a couple of their left-handed bats. That would be Victor Martinez and also Avila. So Hahn has kind of had his way, but give him some credit.
Well, Miguel Cabrera, an RBI single, which extends his on-base streak and his hitting streak as well. But really, beyond Miggy in this ball game again, Rob, the Tiger system not been able to find any other pieces to work.
It's just one of those stretches that they're going through. A lot of teams go through these kinds of stretches during the course of the year. If you're going to have one, you want to have it late May, early June, opposed to having it in August and September. The Tigers will get better. That much we do know.
Well, Albuquerque has come out of the bullpen now for the Tigers, so he will pitch.
And speaking of getting better, Albuquerque has really turned his season around in the month of May. He's been outstanding with that slide piece. He's thrown some good ones to the right-handed batters that he's been able to bury down and away from them, as earlier this year he was not able to throw that slider as efficiently.
Josh Phegley is leading it off here in the 8th inning, and he strokes one to center field. Anthony Ghost will run it down.
Phegley has slider bat speed, And he's already doubled once today. That was on a breaking ball that Green threw him that he hit into the right center field gap, and he jumped on that hanging breaking ball from Albuquerque. You can throw some fastballs by him.
Here's Sam Fuld. Oh for 3, including a double play ball as Fuld swings and misses. Tigers playing the final game in this 14-game stretch against the West. 4-9 so far over the first 13, and they're trailing here today. Oh, 2 the count on Sam Fuld, and he looks at a ball high. We understand we lost our feed for a couple of seconds. We apologize for that, but back with you. He didn't miss anything.
Nothing.
That'll bounce in. 2 balls, 2 strikes against Sam Fuld. Top of the order, Billy Burns on deck.
A lot of times hitters, when they get 2 strikes on them and they're going up against Albuquerque, they look for the breaking ball. And if he throws you a fastball, it's tough for the hitters to pull that bat off their shoulders.
It's in the shallow left field. Daniel Fields coming in.
Here is our 1-800 call Sam call of the game. Sogard on second base, nobody out. Ball hit hard to Miguel. Miguel goes to third base to get the out. Heads up play by Miguel Cabrera, and you flash back to that series in St. Louis. Miggy on a foul ball comes up and fires a strike to third base to get the runner, who's attempting to tag up from second.
Swing and a miss by Burns.
There's that good slide piece that Albuquerque has perfected since coming to the big leagues. And it lost him in the month of April. I don't know where that slider went, but he did not perform very well. But that pitch is back for Al.
1-1. The pitches per plate appearance in this series for Burns.
He don't hang around very long, does he?
Apparently not. He was up there hacking.
Having a good year, though.
He's hanging around a long time here. This will be the 4th pitch coming up in this bat.
Which means he's hacking.
He is not, and it goes to 3-1. Burns a single, a steal, and a run scored back in the 5th. He's hit safely now in 9 in a row. Trying to get it to Zobrist with 2 outs. Foul back. Burns got a little bit of an Ichiro in him with that little slap swing that he has at times.
It's a good thing. Ichiro is pretty good.
And no, we're not comparing him to Ichiro. We're just talking about the swings. Here's the 3-2 again. Swing and a miss. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Albuquerque. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th.
Happened back in the second inning. Double play ball, and it wasn't executed by Shane Green, the starter. He threw it into center field. The next batter was Josh Begley. He doubled in the right center field to drive in all three.
Well, it's been all athletics here this afternoon. They lead it by a score of 7-1. They've got a new pitcher to the A's. So Jesse Hahn at least is out of the game. Drew Pomeranz comes on.
And Pomeranz pitched 43 innings so far this year. He checks in with a 440 earned run average, 32 strikeouts, 16 base on balls. He's been in 8 games. All 8 of his games so far has been as a starter.
Former first-round pick of the Cleveland Indians, who was traded away in the Ubaldo Jimenez deal several years back.
Pomeranz, he was supposed to be a number 1 at the top of that Colorado rotation for a number of years when they were able to acquire him.
He was indeed, had a rocky season in 12 when he went 2-9 with the Rockies. I didn't mean to do that, but I did. With Colorado, and he had an ERA near 5 with the Rockies. Holiday is the batter as we start play here in the bottom of the 8th. Holiday, then Ghost, and then Iglesias. Pomeranz, big guy, stands 6'5". Tigers in this game have been out hit 10-5. They trail 7-1.
And straight over the top with his fastball, firm 4-seamer at about 94 miles an hour. He's thrown a couple of those to B. Holiday.
Sale outside at 94. 2-1. Bryan in the ball game is 0 for 2. Fly out, ground out. Threw that fastball by him. 2-2. Goes on deck. Fill it now 3-2. So Hahn goes 7, gives up 1 run. It was earned, 5 hits in the ballgame. Threw a wild pitch, struck out 5, walked 1. Now it's up to the A's bullpen. Popped it up. First base side for Stephen Vogt. One gone in the 8th. Saturday, Major League Baseball on Fox Sports 1 returns. The Rangers take on the Royals. Then it's Baseball Night in America. It's an American League Central showdown. Tigers taking on the White Sox. Coverage begins at 1:30 Eastern on your home for baseball every Saturday, Fox and Fox Sports 1. 1 away for Ghost. Single for 3 for Anthony. In fact, it was his single that started the Tigers rally in the 6th. Their only run is scored in the 6th inning. 3 straight base hits. Ghost, Iglesias, Cabrera. Here's the 1-0. It also snapped an 0 for 18 for Ghost. Average now at 298. Here it is, the 8th inning, and Jim Joyce's voice is just as loud as it was in the first pitch of the game.
Still belting them out.
Some strong vocal cords there. Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball left side, cut off at third by Laurie. 2 gone.
You know, usually when you go through a tough stretch, and from an offensive standpoint, it might be 1 guy or 2 guys that's scuffling with the bat, but the Tigers have several guys struggling lately with the bat. Ghost would be 1. Ian Kinsler would be another. J.D. Martinez has also struggled with the bat lately.
Castellanos, up and down the lineup, you've had guys that have just not been able to string together a couple of good games.
And it's very important for all the guys that I mentioned to continue to get it done, because that makes Miggy's life a lot easier. And teams have to pitch to Miguel a little bit more when there's more people on base.
Iglesias batting with 2 outs. Jabba Chamberlain warming up in the Detroit bullpen.
Iglesias has made a nice adjustment the last couple of days. And that very first day when he batted in that second spot for the second time this year, he rolled over the third baseman 4 times in that game.
Apparently somebody made a pretty good catch of the crowd on the Iglesias foul ball. Wow. Take a bow.
Sign him up.
One and 2 on Iglesias. You ever catch a foul ball when you were a kid in the stands at a big league game?
No, I didn't sit down that low. No, not me.
Were you in the upper reaches, the upper deck?
I was in the 5th deck at Dodger Stadium. You didn't get no foul balls up there.
Pomeranz will throw out Iglesias, and the inning is over. On our way to the 9th here at Comerica. Up 7-1. They have 10 hits today, and they have backed up the pitching of Jesse Hahn, who threw another really good game against the Tigers. Yoenis Cespedes left the game in the 2nd inning with flu-like symptoms. Daniel Fields, meanwhile, came on to make his big league debut in this game. Meanwhile, Jabba Chamberlain now will come out and pitch in the 9th.
And Jabba Chamberlain normally does not come into games in these types of situations, but this is where Brad is at. And because he's had to dip into the front end of that bullpen so often the last couple of weeks, that Jabba and also Soria find themselves pitching in games that are lopsided.
It'll be Ben Zobrist to lead it off in the 9th inning. 7-1 Athletics. Zobrist taps one foul down the third baseline. Here is the numbers that kind of jump out at you. 0 for 18 career against Jabba. 7 of those at bats resulting in a strikeout. Ball high, 1-1. So the Tigers today have gone with Hardy, Gorzolani, and Albuquerque out of the bullpen. Al was a 1-2-3-8. Picked up a strikeout. 2-1 on Zobrist. Cabrera, Fields, and Kinsler will bat in the Tigers' 9th. That's in there. 2-2 now on Zobrist. Lifted in the air toward left. Daniel Fields backing up under it. Zobrist is out, 1 away. 0 for 19 against Jabba Chamberlain for Zobrist. Here's Stephen Vogt. Vogt on base 3 times in this game, walked twice, 1 of them intentional, and he's also singled. He has scored a couple of runs. Dan Otero is warming up in the Oakland pen. Strike 1 on Vogt. They play him to pull on the infield. Shifting to the right side. Jabba's 0-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. We'll go to the backstop. 2 balls, 1 strike. Jabba coming into this game had allowed only 2 earned runs in his 19 appearances this season. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and that's fouled back out of play. Only 1 run over his last 13 outings, which covers 9 innings. Tigers signed him late. They signed him up at the end of February.
Yeah, he didn't make the media guide.
That's when you can tell a guy is signed late. If you're not in the media guide, it's usually late February, early March. Swing and a miss. Stephen Vogt is out, 2 gone.
Here is the Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery of the game. It came back in the 2nd inning. A hanging breaking ball thrown by Shane Green. Smoked into the right center field gap by Fagley, who drove in 3.
So with 2 outs, here is Billy Butler. Been a good day for Butler. He's walked, he's doubled, he has singled, he has knocked in 2, and he cuts and misses. Now the 0-1 from Jabba. In the air to right field. Tyler Collins circling under it, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Chamberlain. We will head to the bottom of the 9th. At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at Bat for your smartphone or your tablet. Well, as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, the A's have gone back into their bullpen, and Dan Otero will check in now for the Athletics.
Yeah, Otero's number is a little bit elevated this year opposed to last year when he was outstanding out of the Oakland Athletics bullpen, pitching in his 23rd game. The earned run average is at 4.88.
So Otero will face Cabrera, Daniel Fields, and then Ian Kinsler. Miggy drove in a run back in the 6th. The 3rd consecutive hit the Tigers had in that inning against Hahn, and the only run they scored against Jesse Hahn. Otero delivers a strike. 0-1 on Cabrera. Cabrera now with 36 RBIs. Swing and a miss. He had a big rip there. Seven runs, 10 hits for the A's. Tigers are on 5 hits. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Cabrera out on strikes, 1 away.
A little different take on our Miller moment this afternoon. Julie Fields is going to deliver that to us. She's the proud mom of Daniel Fields, who made his major league debut today.
I am so nervous right now, but this is the moment he has played baseball for since he was in the Southfield House League. He's been to this ballpark 1,000 times with his dad, and it's just different. You know, it's about him now.
And Daniel getting his 3rd big league at bat, caught looking each of the first 2. And he fouls that one off at home plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fields was called up when Rajay Davis was placed on the paternity list. Daniel making his debut today, coming on for Cespedes, who left the game early with flu-like symptoms.
And Daniel, one of those kids that had the luxury of growing up in a major league clubhouse. His dad, Bruce, was on Alan Trammell's staff for 3 years when Trammell was the manager of the Detroit Tigers, not to mention all the minor league buses that he has taken with his dad when his dad was managing in the minors. So he has spent quite a bit of time in professional clubhouses.
Here's the 2-1. Fields sends a ground ball, base hit into right field. His first major league hit. He's going to try for 2, and Daniel dives in with a double. First big league hit for Daniel Fields. Somebody get that baseball. Well, he was busting it out of the box too, wasn't he?
He was running so fast when he got around the first base, he nearly slipped. He took an inside fastball from Otero and turned on it. Reddick in right field is a good defender with a good arm, and you see he almost lost it right there, but he gathered himself in a head-first slide. Not only did he get his first base hit, but he got a double.
Yes, says Mom Julie. So the first big league hit is in the books for Daniel Fields.
That was also Aaron Fields. He is the older brother of Daniel. He was standing up with his camera in his hand as well. He's a former minor league player in the Cleveland Indians organization. There's Aaron. It's a proud moment for a great family. It's a tremendous family, the Fields family.
1 ball, 1 strike on Kinsler. 6th hit of the day for the Tigers. Popped up foul, back out of play. 1-2 now on Kinsler. Ian in the ball game, a single and a walk. He is 1 for 2. And the 1-2.
Let's take one more look at the first hit by Daniel Fields. Low fastball inside, and look at him pull the hands in nicely and simply turn on it. Real nice weight distribution. That's what Daniel's been doing, and it started in spring training. I mean, he had some really fast hands in spring.
Bouncing ball fair inside the bag at first. Right by a diving vote. Daniel Fields about to get his first big league run scored.
And he'll get a whole lot of high fives when he gets into that dugout. There have not been a lot of great moments the last 3 days, but this is one special moment for Daniel and his teammates.
So Kinsler gets his second RBI. Daniel Fields his first big league hit, first big league run scored. And a ground ball back up the middle. That's into center field, a base hit.
That's the first hit J.D. Martinez has gotten against athletic pitching this season.
3 straight hits for the Tigers. Not quite done yet. 7-2 ball game. Tyler Collins will stand in. Time call now. We'll get a meeting on the mound. Otero struck out Cabrera to start the inning. Then Fields doubled. Kinsler singled him in, and a base hit by Martinez.
And we have not seen a whole lot of the pitching coach Kurt Young in this series. And because his pitching staff has been so efficient in the 3 games here in the Motor City.
Well, Tyler Clippard, their closer, warming up just in case he's needed. Tigers now have 8 hits. Fields with a big grin. Ball 1 to Tyler Collins. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Collins 0 for 3. 1 for 9 in the series. Driven to right field. That ball is deep, and that ball is gone. Collins a 3-run shot, and it's 7-5. For the Tigers.
Sit and turn, and that's exactly what Tyler Collins did on the 2-seam fastball that leaked right back into the barrel of his bat.
Collins gets his first homer of the year, and that's going to be it for Otero, who cannot get the 3 outs needed here in the 9th inning. They're going to have to go to their closer. So we'll step aside. Another pitching change here at the ballpark. We've got ourselves a ball game. 7-5. This rally started with Daniel Field's first big league hit, and there it is right now. It's in his hand. And it was a double, followed by 3 more hits, and all of a sudden it's a 2-run game. Collins delivering, and so now the A's have had to go to their bullpen as Tyler Clippard comes in.
And Clippard, he has been their closer for parts of this season. He has converted 8 of 9. He checks in with a respectable earned run average at 2.31, 20 punch outs for Clippard, but he has walked 13 this year, so he can get erratic in the strike zone.
Well, the Tigers need a base runner here, bring the tying run to the plate. Nick Castellanos is 1 for 3. A's bullpen having trouble protecting a 7-1 lead. Castellanos looks at a ball high.
And Castellanos back to the batting gloves this afternoon. The last couple of days, he said he didn't have any batting gloves. He ran out of a shipment, and the new shipment didn't come in time, so he played a couple of days without batting gloves.
Fouled away, 1-1.
I thought maybe he did it because he was a little superstitious. They weren't working, so let's get rid of the batting gloves so I can feel the bat and get a couple of hits. But that wasn't the case. His shipment didn't make it.
It's kind of hard to believe, isn't it?
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
In the major leagues.
Yeah.
James McCann has moved to the on-deck circle. Here's the 1-1. Castellanos pops it up. See if it finds the seats. Vogt runs out of room. 1-2. So the 37,000 plus that stuck around in this one, and watching the Tigers show some life here with a 4-run ninth. And it's 7-5. Well, Vogt may have hurt himself.
That is the last thing that Bob Melvin wanted to see, and he's walking and dragging that right foot. Look like I got a cramp. I've been there, done that. If you're Bob Melvin, you're thinking about taking him out of the game, but you just don't know. He's your best offensive player.
Yeah, and all of a sudden it's a 2-run game.
He can't get rid of that cramp, though.
You're going to have to take him out. So Vogt will walk off the field with an apparent cramp. Max Muncy will take over at first base. Meanwhile, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Castellanos. Fouled away again. (7-5). Oakland has the lead here. They entered the 9th inning leading 7-1. Cabrera struck out to start the inning, but then it's been all Tigers since. Double, single, homer. In the air to center field, and caught on a dive by Billy Burns. 2 gone. Here's the upcoming matchup presented by Gordon Chevrolet. Here are the probables for the series, which is upcoming against the White Sox.
It'll be Ryan, Price, and Simone for the Tigers, Quintana, Danks, and Samardzija for the White Sox.
Fox will have the Saturday game. We'll have the Friday-Sunday contest on our air. Almost looked like Burns was setting up a dive on that last play.
Yeah, that was some false hustle out there.
I love that term.
He could have caught that ball standing up.
I know. Looked like he slowed down and then I'll dive.
Oh, well.
McCann pinch hitting now with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Clippard in place of Otero here, who was knocked out in the 9th. Almost hit him 2-1. Gotta have a base runner here to keep this game going. Ghost waiting on deck. Now 2-2 on James McCann, the pinch hitter.
Yeah, good swing there by McCann at the 92-mile-per-hour fastball thrown by Clippard.
High fly ball left field. Hit fairly deep. Fold is under it though, and that is that. And the Athletics get a scare, but they complete the sweep of the Tigers. Tigers show some life in the 9th. They scored 4 times, but the A's will leave the Motor City with a 3-game sweep. They'll be back.